Hi, nobody. I have actually decided to do a video today on the fact that I don't get any views. Now, there's probably a few reasons why I don't. Number one, I'm probably not funny enough. Secondly, I'm probably not creative enough either. And some of the things I talk about clearly probably aren't of interest to you. And that is fine. However, if you do think that you would like to have a conversation with me or listen to further videos, I do suggest that you do subscribe. But just wanted to say that making videos on YouTube has always been a challenge because on a couple of occasions I've been banned for some of the stupid things that I've said, or at least got a strike against me on YouTube for reasons that I still don't understand, but that's the way it is. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I view doing YouTube videos. Now, I don't ever produce enough videos for enough people to become interested, and I don't obviously do or say things that are controversial, or I'm not extremely creative either in these videos. So I don't care all that much if I don't get any views. I'm not suggesting for a moment that you shouldn't find a way perhaps to subscribe to me or to contact me or to do whatever it is that you need to do to engage with some of the things that I say. But I do think that it's a really good idea for me to continue to make the videos, regardless of what happens. There are lots of things that I read about every day that I could talk about, but I'm going to be really honest with you. I find it difficult to sometimes just pluck up the courage to turn on my computer, get my software operating, set up the graphics or whatever it is that I have to do to have this conversation. I struggle with the idea that I may not be achieving anything. It has always been important to me throughout my whole life to find ways to be productive. There's one thing I hate more than anything else, and that's just being bored. I believe I'm at that age now. I've been at that age for a while where I should have retired. I can't retire, not because I can't financially, but I can't because I don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm actually doing nothing. That being bored, not having anything to focus on, not having anything to do, I think would be quite detrimental. So I don't want to get to that place whereby I'm sitting down twiddling my thumbs wondering what to do next, and sometimes I often wonder, do I have anything to contribute anyway? Like I'm a social worker by profession. I have 30 years experience as a social worker. I have heaps of experience through other stuff I've done before that, and I wonder whether any of those issues or those things that I've accomplished or done have any great benefit to you. Whoever you might be when you choose not to subscribe. And so it's kind of like a dilemma for me. Do I continue doing these videos and do I need to do them because it's something I like to think about? I've acquired all the technology to be able to produce whatever I produce, far more technology than most people who produce really successful videos do. I do most of my videos live. I probably should be editing a lot of them and putting together some really snappy sort of videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and some of those that I like are not necessarily all that snappy. For example, I like the Young Turks because I like the subject matter which they talk, even though they do frustrate the shit out of me from time to time, but I do like watching them because I like the content. I like the things that they're talking about. I like other videos which taught me, so I use a piece of software called DaVinci Resolve, which is a fantastic piece of software for producing some of the other videos that I do or for a documentary that I'm putting together at the moment. So I enjoy getting to understand these new technologies and how they work and how I can implement them in order to improve what it is that I do. For example, right now with my background, green screen, the graphics that I use, being able to put up stuff like this, even though I've just noticed that because I'm wearing a white shirt, my name doesn't come up all that well. But in implementing different sorts of technologies, I think is seems to be important to me. So this is what I do. Now, if you choose not to subscribe to me, that's fine with me. I don't really care all that much. If you do, that would be fantastic. One of my goals had always been to produce something that people found interesting enough to be able to want to hear more of. Not because I'm necessarily all that entertaining, because I don't think I am. I look at some of the videos that on YouTube and think, well, yeah, the way that guy presents is fantastic. They've got a personality and a sense of who they are that comes across. And some people exaggerate who they are, because of the fact that you've got this screen, it's all two-dimensional, and you need to be able to present yourself in a way that somehow is kind of an exaggeration of the way that you would present when you're just having a conversation generally with somebody. And I guess at the same point, I'm trying to do that now, which probably indicates to you that when I'm not doing this sort of stuff, I may be pretty damn boring. And maybe that's true. But what I want to do is to be able to continue to do what I'm doing now, regardless of whoever subscribes, and whether or not I'm successful or not. So I have a look at lots of videos around what you need to do for YouTube presentations. So what do I need to do that produces, so there's a set of rules, I guess, or a set of standards that one needs to implement in order to be able to be consistent around YouTube. Now, I think I've produced something like 72 videos. And I think the most people I've ever had watching any one video is 68. And so it's about having a look at, what are those titles, what sort of things attract people, and so on. And I've come to the conclusion, I think, that I don't care. That if I find something that I need to talk about that is of interest to me, then I'm going to share that, regardless of whether people are all that interested in that or not. But one of the things I do focus on is politics, because that's one of the things that I enjoy. I actually have a political party called the Child Protection Party, and I'm better known, I guess, for my Facebook feeds on that, for which we get quite a few thousand views. And but I'm not interested, but I can't do that all the time. I'm not interested in doing that stuff, also as important as it is to me, in order to get people involved in things like, giving kids a voice and what's important for kids. That's important, but I'm not focusing on that 100% of the time. The other stuff I like to do is to be able to have conversations about topical interest, political topics that I find interesting, even though you may not find them all that interesting or challenging. So that's kind of the things I like to do. I decided to put together a video some weeks ago, which was comparing three comedians, Billy Connolly, I forget who the other one was. One was Jimmy Carr, and the other one was his Australian comedian, whose name has just escaped me. But I was comparing these three, and the Jimmy Carr one, which I didn't like, well, the video I had of that was quite abusive, I think, and inappropriate, perhaps, even though it was a YouTube video, and YouTube gave me a black mark because of that, and took the video down. There was nothing in it that wasn't really all that controversial, because it's already on YouTube anyway, but because it came off my site, they decided that it was inappropriate. So, and there are those sorts of challenges, like what is it that we can talk about on YouTube? What's appropriate for us to be able to discuss? I noticed that when I was watching Dave Packman the other day, that David made a point of interrupting the video that he was showing, because that video in itself, the content in that video was about anti-vaxxing, and he probably would have had a black stripe against his name. Well, there's a man that makes tens of thousands of dollars a month from YouTube, so he wasn't going that to happen. But it was a warning sign to me that be careful if you're putting up a video and you're copying it from YouTube. Make sure that you make a statement within that video, so that the algorithm knows that you're the one commenting in the video, and that the video isn't something that you've just directly put up yourself. So there are certain things that I'm learning. I find this quite a fascinating area, because there's so much that we can learn. So it isn't about becoming famous for me, and it isn't about an ego because I don't care all that much. It is about finding ways by which I can do things, that I can become active, that I don't at my age become staid, bored, and find myself just locked away in a room, twiddling my thumbs, watching just YouTube videos or television and doing nothing. So this is my way of finding a way, I guess, to contribute in some form or another to society. I do it through lots of other ways, through my other work as a social worker, and I also do it through the Child Protection Party. But this is a way I want to contribute to a general conversation about things that I think are important to me and hopefully to you. So if you do think about it, and you do think that it'd be worth just subscribing and having a conversation with me or hearing some of the things that I say, I plan to put out more of these videos probably on a daily basis, hopefully from now on. And so I'd like you to share with me some of your ideas, and let's have a conversation about things that are happening in this world that I think are important and that may be also important to you. So thanks for being with me on this occasion. Take care of yourself, everybody. Look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.